The precise calculations for my next strike have been meticulous, absorbing every fragment of data gleaned from Arden's infuriatingly passive observation and the Syndicate's preliminary probes. From the heart of my mountain redoubt, the vast holographic map of the planar world pulsed with a soft, internal light. My gaze, sharp as a cutting laser, settled on the target, not merely a remote settlement, but a minor key nexus, a confluence of powerful, concentrated planar energy flows that fed life and harmony into a wider, more central region. This was not just about sowing discord, it was about disrupting a foundational element of their systemic balance, ensuring Arden would feel this tremor, not merely observe it. Nadeen, I commanded, my voice a low, steady current in the sterile air of the lab. Engage primary key broadcast array. Prepare for sustained modulated transmission. Target the designated key nexus. Initiate widespread psychological dissonance sequence. Maximum regional impact. Her avatar shimmered, confirming the parameters. The reconfigured key broadcast array, now boasting amplified key conduits and a more complex crystal lattice, began to thrum with a nascent power. This was no longer just a scalpel. It was a precisely aimed sonic boom in the quiet symphony of harmony. My goal was not physical destruction, but a profound, widespread ripple of mental and energetic discord. The strike was deployed, an immense, invisible wave of dissonant frequencies, meticulously interwoven with subtle key modulations, surged from my redoubt, impacting the targeted key nexus. The effect was immediate and widespread. On my monitors, the once stable energy lines of the nexus began to flicker, their vibrant blues and greens fracturing into chaotic reds and grays. The surrounding region, which had previously resonated with calm, harmonious thought patterns, erupted into a cacophony of fear, distrust, and irrationality. I watched, cold and precise, as the effects manifested across the broader population connected to the nexus. Entire districts were plunged into sudden, inexplicable surges of anxiety. Children cried without cause, their key signatures flared with unbidden terror. Adults in the midst of serene communal gatherings felt an oppressive weight of dread, glancing at their neighbors with fleeting expressions of suspicion. Conversations became disjointed, tasks faltered, and a pervasive sense of unease, a generalized paranoia, settled over the population like an unseasonable frost. It was not a violent outburst, but a deep, insidious fracturing of their collective peace. Their harmony was audibly strained, a silent scream across the key weave. My satisfaction was a cold, pure thing, mixed with a heightened awareness of the escalating risk. This was what Arden deserved. This was the defiance he had inadvertently provoked. The Syndicate of Weavers' response was a swift, coordinated, and far more intense than before. Their probes, no longer tentative bursts, became focused beams of inquiry, lancing through the key weave towards my general location. I saw the collective consciousness, a vast, luminous web, concentrate its efforts around that afflicted key nexus and the surrounding settlements. They now explicitly recognized a singular intelligent source of dissonance. No longer could they dismiss it as lingering planetary trauma or natural anomalies. Someone was actively orchestrating this disharmony. Vast waves of counter-harmonious keys surged from their networks, attempting to suppress the discord I had unleashed. They formed immense, shimmering key fields, trying to contain the spreading anxiety and reharmonize the fractured minds. Their efforts were not about destruction, but about mending. They sent forth collective mental directives, calm and pervasive, urging the affected populace back towards balance. They were actively trying to repair the fabric of reality, to staunch the energetic wound I had inflicted, while simultaneously trying to pinpoint my exact location. They sought to neutralize my influence, to reintegrate the anomaly back into the harmonious flow. I observed their sophisticated containment methods with intense interest, processing every nuance. This was invaluable intelligence. I learned more about Arden's prime filter, not just how it perceived, but how it reacted and directed its proxies to maintain balance. I saw the Weavers' strengths, their interconnectedness, their vast capacity for reharmonization, their unwavering dedication to peace. But I also saw their limitations, their inherent reliance on harmony. They were reactive, not proactive. They sought to restore balance, not to destroy the source of imbalance. They were healers and defenders, not warriors. This reliance on a reactive, mending posture was a weakness I could exploit. Their very nature derived from Arden's pervasive harmony, prevented them from truly understanding or effectively combating a force of pure, intelligent dissonance. My cloaking, previously sufficient, now needed further refinement to counter their more targeted investigative probes. My psychological state was pushed to its absolute limits. The larger disruption required an almost impossible level of focus and key management. I had to maintain the dissonant frequencies while simultaneously reinforcing my own mental shields against the Weavers' persistent counter-harmonization efforts. Their more focused probes, their constant attempts to touch my presence, were a relentless psychological assault, a pervasive hum of inquiry that sought to dismantle my carefully guarded individuality. I felt the weight of Arden's pervasive, analytical gaze intensify, like a cosmic pressure pressing down on my mind. I was no longer just a subject to be cataloged. I was a critical experiment, and the stakes were rising with every passing moment. But Malachi remained unbroken. Each ounce of discomfort, each surge of fury at Arden's clinical detachment was channeled into a hyper-precision and unyielding determination. I reveled in the challenge. This was the furnace in which my true power would be forged. You observe me, prime immortal, I thought. My internal monologue a defiant echo in the silent lab. You rely on your collective, your healers, to mend the damage I inflict. You seek to reharmonize my descent, but I am not a wound to be healed. I am the blade that will tear the very fabric of your harmony. Your detached observation is a delusion. I'll force you to break your silence, to feel the discord, to acknowledge me not as a variable, but as an adversary that demands your full, undivided wrath. My gaze remained fixed on the planar map. The widespread disruption slowly subsided as the Weavers, with immense effort, succeeded in reharmonizing the region. But it had been a far more difficult and prolonged effort than anything they had faced before. I pulled back my active projection, my readout still hidden, a dark, silent scar on the world's surface. Yet now, I was very much acknowledged, if unidentified, source. I was a very much acknowledged, if unidentified source of major discord. I had forced the planar world's hand, slightly. The grim satisfaction of progress settled over me. The next strike would be even bolder. It would push Arden's cruel experiment to its breaking point.